Hello, hello, hello. So I wanted to come on today and do a video about Wendy Williams because I've been asked what I thought and what are my thoughts about the whole situation about Wendy. I do get new people that come and watch my live stream. So if you are new, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe and you click the bell. Also, I do take super chats, and I actually have the button where YouTube now has this new feature to where they try to find new ways for creators to get more money, whatever. It's like a thank you button, but I haven't enabled it, but I have that as well. But um, so with Wendy, y'all, I'm so tired of talking about Wendy Williams. I really am. Y'all know I'm a fan. Like, I'm a huge fan of Wendy. I love her because she has this competitive advantage where everyone on TV is not themselves. They're just polished, or they put on like some type of fake facade of what's going on. And it's kind of ironic that I'm saying fake facade because I feel like that's what she's trying to put on now. But throughout her whole career, she was herself. She wasn't this one person on camera, then off camera she was a different person, like pretty much 99.9% of people who are on radio, who are in TV. Wendy never did that. Her popularity came from just telling it like it is, going into the clubs, doing the gossip, finding out who artist is in the club, taking that, going to the radio station, and doing her commentary and establishing contacts and sources to give her information. Hell, even at one point, I recall her going to the Whitney Houston wedding. She was not invited, but she took a helicopter and had a helicopter go in the sky over the whole Whitney Houston wedding just to see if she can get any kind of information on, what was going on and everything. Like, she really went all out in her career. And I have respect for that. She's a hustler. And she reminds me a lot about myself in terms of not really liking people. I mean, we like people, but we're introverted and we don't want to be bothered. At the end of the day, we just want to be in our house. We don't care about people that much. Although it's like being introvert, extrovert. It's like, you're fine with talking to an audience or public speaking or whatnot, but when you're done, you just want to go home and you want to be in your own sacred place, eat you some damn food and watch some TV or whatever. That's what I like to do. And she's that person as well. And you know what? The woman is not well. It's pretty obvious she is not well. I am tired of what team that she's having trying to put her on camera to talk to the world. Like, it is not working. I'm not sure if they have an ulterior motive, or maybe they're just trying to prove a point and try to sway the ruling with the Wells Fargo Bank, with her having to have a trusted or a guardianship, some type of person to have a say on what she spends and who she spends her money with. I'm just tired of her team, her new team, or whoever that is. I don't even know if she got a team, but just people in her circle now putting her on camera. Because each time they put her on camera, something is just like, it's obvious. Like, I could not even watch the whole TMZ interview. It was so uncomfortable to watch because it's not Wendy. It's not the Wendy that I'm used to watching, And yeah, man, it's just like Wendy has been going through it for several years. Wendy has been going through it even when she was with her husband. And I'm not even talking about like 2019, 2020. I'm talking about 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and throughout, even in her radio days. But she's been going through it a long time. And I think it gotten worse for her probably in the years of 2018, 2019, probably 2017, because you can often tell that when she does a story, she can't do the story, and it's one thing to have your notes. It's fine. I remember she first started her show, she would have the notes on the table and everything. That's okay. That's fine, because when she first started her TV show, if you've been watching her on her YouTube page since then, they weren't even shooting in HD. Their resolution, which resolution means basically the frame of the video from when you watch it on YouTube, was very close in width, very small in width. You know, if you watched her in the past, but now the width frame is wider, and of course, over time, they've gotten great quality in their cameras and stuff like that. But it wasn't like that in the beginning. So during that time, she would look at her notes and everything, and that's fine. Like, she spoke well, you know, she was articulate. There wasn't really no signs of her slurring her words or just being forgetful or nothing, because, you know, she was healthy during that time. But, you know, over time, like I said, around the 2017, 2018 era, it was getting to the point where it was pretty obvious that, you know, she was not well, and she was not 100%. Yeah, so I said this a lot of times, but I did interview somebody that used to go on her show and do commentary. And I promised not to publish the video, because I even told this person, I'm like, well, she's not well. She can barely tell a story. And they were like, well, you know, I'm just there to do my job. I'm not really there to pay attention with what's going on with her. And there was one point in time when this person was on her show, and Wendy was just really off, and she had an attitude, and just was very her words was, she was just slurring her words and everything. And then I asked the person, I'm like, well, on that day you were on, like, what was going on? And like I said, so I didn't publish it out of promise, you know, because I promised them that I'm not going to publish the video, whatever. So I was like, okay, I promise, because initially I was interviewing them for something else, for a business venture that they're doing. And then it got to the point where I wanted to ask about the whole Wendy situation as well. But yeah, y'all, like, I couldn't even watch that TMZ video. It was just too much. You know, something is wrong with her. Like I said, she's not reliable. I don't even think she can do a podcast, to be honest with you. And then when she said she didn't even know what a podcast was, I'm like, podcasting is really not that different from radio. It's just on a different medium. Radio is radio, and podcasting is on, like, the internet. Podcasters use a lot of things that people in radio stations use. They use the little board stuff, the little board operating stuff. They have monitors, and they have sound, and they have music. So it's not really different from radio. And so I was really, like, taken back when she said she doesn't understand podcasting because she comes from radio. And she done all of that. Like, she did all of that when she was on the radio, when she was working for the Virgin Islands, and then when she worked at WBLS and other stations. I'm like, what is she talking about? She doesn't know what a podcast is. So yeah, she's just off. She's off. And she also stated that her and Morton Ira, they had this amicable, just like basically nice send-off conversation. I don't believe that. That's not true. There's no way she had contact with them. I don't believe that. She also said that she doesn't want to come on her show anymore because doing a podcast would make her more money. And I don't believe that either. I also don't think that she's vaccinated. That's another thing. Because I do recall her being on Dr. Oz and telling Dr. Oz she doesn't trust it. And with the whole New York mandate, you have to be vaccinated in order to go to the show and do a job, right? And even some of her staffers, there were rumors that her staffers were saying that she's not vaccinated. So that's another reason, the vaccination and just not being herself. And I do recall her ex. This was earlier on when we found out about their divorce. I do recall him posting some cryptic message on Instagram saying, y'all gonna see what's really happening with Wendy, because her ex-husband was in charge of her mental well-being. I mean, he put that in his lawsuit, that he was in charge of her going to Pilates and going to doctor appointments and going to other things. So once he put out that cryptic message saying that, hey, y'all gonna see what's gonna happen to Wendy, or something's gonna happen, then so I mean, it's safe to say while they were together, although he was not a great husband to her, business wise, he had her in check, her mentality in check, so she can be able to, um, quote unquote, fake the funk to be on TV and do what she got to do to go home. But yeah, she's not well. She's not well. It's sad to say she's not well, but she's not. She's not well. Um, I'm just thinking about Wendy yesterday, I believe. Which family friend is helping her these times? Can you put a link to the TMZ interview? TMZ interview, just search Wendy Williams TMZ on Google. Bam. But I also saw Sherry Shepherd on The View, and she talked about her show. So apparently, her hot topic segment is going to be called "What's Poppin' Topics," I believe, which is so corny. Um, I want Sherry to do well. I really do. I wish her well. Like I said, I just don't like the transition. But no, I don't blame Deb Mercury for the reason as to why Wendy uh, did not come back to her show. But I do blame the team for not giving her like a little bit more respect with her send off, with the last day of her show, which I still haven't even watched, because it's not on their page. So they're sending a statement. What's lame? They're sending a statement pretty much saying that fuck you, Wendy. Here's your 7-minute farewell, and we're not even going to post the last episode on your YouTube page. That's crazy. That's insane. But yeah, man, I wish her well. I don't think she's going to do a podcast because she's not reliable. And if she do a podcast, she talked about having a partner called Will. And y'all know Wendy don't do well with partnering with people. Y'all know that. She said that herself. She's a one man or one woman band, however you want to say the saying, and she doesn't do a co-host or whatever. She likes to be the person under the mic. So it's pretty evident the fact that she wants somebody to partner up with her with this podcast. That even just gives me even more confirmation that something's up with her, and she's not wrong. She's not right. But yeah. So, hey, my friend, how you doing?
Hi, I ain't talked to you in so long.
What you think about the whole Wendy situation? What you think about it?
Well, I think Wendy need to just focus on her health. You right.
Yeah.
You right. She been, you know, not the same without her, you know. I'm glad that she got a divorce with her husband, her ex-husband.
Mm.
And he did his stuff dirty on that, you know. And having a a baby. Come on now.
Multiple babies
You
allegedly. There's
supposed
just
to
the other ones didn't get aborted, which is why I don't believe in abortion, but that's another topic. But the rumor was always the rumor
exactly.
was that
I
he had several in the past, but they were all aborted with the mistress. That was the rumor, allegedly. But
Yeah, but you know, he I think he just I think Wendy just needs to take care of herself and
and
take care of her
I think she
son.
knew about those abortions as well. I think she knew about those abortions as well because she even said once she was on a view, she was like, infidelity is one thing, having a baby is a whole different conversation. So,
Yeah.
and so, just, and allegedly she also had a lot of abortions. I believe in her interview with Judge Mathis, which is on YouTube till this day, I believe, he called her out on having abortions, like several. I'm going to say allegedly because it's been a while since I watched that interview. But she allegedly also had several abortions, which is the reason why she was at a high risk pregnancy. And she had like several miscarriages. And then when she had the son that she has now, she was on bed rest pretty much for 24 hours, like for 9 months. She only stood up 15 minutes throughout the day, because she was at high risk, So, that's what drugs and abortions can do to you people, But, uh, so,
Right.
yeah.
And you know what? I think even though like I don't I don't like how the Supreme Court, you know,
Yeah, that's a whole nother
did.
topic.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
like, I
We're
was,
just talking about Wendy today. That's a whole different, you know.
I was this, yeah, but I had to bring that up, man.
Yeah, no,
We
I mean,
just
I
gonna keep
personally, I
it,
don't
we
believe in
gonna keep it
abortion.
real. We are going
Yeah,
to keep it real.
go ahead, keep it real, Justin. Go ahead,
But
go ahead.
like I said, I think women should be
Have the
able,
right to choose.
have the right to choose
Mm-hmm.
their own body, their
Mm-hmm.
own body, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but let's be honest. A lot of women, I mean, they are promiscuous and they just do it like, you know, like drinking
Yeah,
water
but
with all these baby abortions and all of that. You know, it's a tough topic, but you know, let's just call it a spade and call it what it is. Um,
yeah,
but
but
yeah. So, are you gonna watch the Sherry show? You gonna watch that?
no, I miss Wendy. I
You're
totally
not gonna watch
do.
Sherry's. You're not gonna
I'm
watch
not
Sherry
gonna
in
watch
September.
Sherry. I'm not
Why?
gonna watch. I'm not.
You're not even gonna give her a
No,
shot.
I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna give her a try.
I'm not a big fan of hers. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
She is goofy. She is funny,
She's not funny to
but
me.
not like Wendy. Not like Wendy. She tell
She's
it
not
like it
funny.
is.
Yeah, she's not. She's not funny.
I
I wish her well, and I'm gonna watch her first show. And I'm gonna give her a chance, but she's not funny. She's not funny. You
True.
know. Yeah, she belong on the panel. She don't belong. I don't. She can't really carry a show to me by herself. You know.
I
That's just
don't.
my opinion.
I think
You know.
I think she needs some more help.
She do, and she's gonna get help. She's gonna have Flame Monroe on a lot because she knows she need help. See, a lot of these celebrities, they know what they have and what they don't have. It's kind of like singers. Like Patti LaBelle says, a lot of these singers need a lot of props, which basically mean they know if they can sing or not. So they can't sing. They need a lot of background dancers and a lot of graphic and creativity behind the scenes. You know, see what I mean? Like Jennifer Lopez, she's a good dancer and she need all of that creativity behind the scenes because she doesn't have a good singing voice. You see what I mean? Um, so
Yeah.
I mean that's singing, but in terms of like hosting, you know what you can do and what you can't do. You know, like we all
True.
know. We all know. You know, we all know what our skill sets and what our fortes are, and she knows. I'm sure she knows as well. But yeah, being a host alone, no. Yeah, that's I don't like. It's she's boring. I'm just keep it 100. You know.
Yeah. But
I think she's
I'm
boring.
I'm I'm getting off. I'm getting off of here because
You gonna
I
leave? You
am
gonna leave me
moving.
already?
I'm moving, buddy.
Oh,
I'm
you
moving
moving?
tomorrow. I'm moving tomorrow afternoon, buddy.
So, what did you think about the TMZ interview with Wendy? You saw that one?
I did not see that one. What she
She
was
was
talking
showing.
about.
Well, she said that her former bosses, like with the Demo Mercury, they basically left on good terms, which I don't believe that. And she was showing them her
Nah.
foot. She was showing them her foot, and it was very awkward. Like it was really awkward. And they even said it's hard to believe that you don't want to come back to your show and it being this successful for over 10 years, which is, I mean, because it's a lie. That's why it's hard to believe. You know, she can't come
Right.
back uh,
Why she was showing her foot?
because
Because that
she asked them if they knew what lymphedema was, and they said no, and she couldn't even explain what it was. She just showed her foot, and she said she only could feel like 5% of her nerves in her foot. You know, um,
really.
yeah. So she didn't use the word nerve. She
Mm.
didn't even explain it, but I'm saying it way better than what she did. But it's just it was hard to watch. You know, it seemed like something wrong up here. Um, you
Yeah.
know, and it's she's still young.
And
And this
I
yeah.
think Wendy is still on drugs.
Yeah, we gonna allegedly on that one, but
But
I mean, I won't be surprised. That, and then possibly, the death of her mother and her husband and the baby and
exactly. Well,
COVID. It's
she
just too much. It's too much going
right.
on. I mean, she don't really have nobody that love her for her. I even doubt her
Exactly.
brother like her for her. He just continuously make videos with her name in the title.
Her brother
And
need to leave her alone. What's her sister at? Where her sister at?
I was gonna say
Where her
this.
sister
One
at?
thing I want to get, one
And
person I want to
who?
give a shout out to
And
is her
who?
sister, because her sister didn't say
Exactly.
nothing to the media. The only time she spoke out was when Wendy wanted her to in the documentary, when she did her 2 cents of what of who her
Exactly.
sister was. But she didn't say nothing. Denise, who is a reporter, I believe in Miami, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's in Miami. Wendy's niece, nothing. They kept it quiet, and I have respect for that. I just
Yeah, I got respect for that too. I did watch the documentary. Oh my goodness.
you like
It was
it?
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I
She
feel bad for her
came
though.
clean.
She
Oh
been through
my
a lot.
goodness.
Yeah, I feel bad for her. I feel
Wow.
bad. I do. Yeah, I feel like the condition she's in now was a sacrifice in order to get to where her career has gotten to. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
the isolation and the depression and the drugs and not having friends, not having, someone that loves you for you, not the career you. I feel like all of that turmoil was a sacrifice to the millions of dollars that she made and the big show and a big radio career that she had. You see what I mean? So um, I feel like that was a sacrifice. You see what I mean? Like Oprah's sacrifice was allegedly dealing with Harvey Weinstein and knowing allegedly about what he's doing to females. Yeah, in order for her to be this billionaire on own network. You see? Um,
I'm not
all right, Jocelyn. Well, go ahead. Bye,
I
Jocelyn. But yeah, so Laura, that's allegedly that she's on it. I mean, there were rumors that she was on or back on it. I mean, it was pretty obvious when she was slurring her words and the way she was sniffing her nose. So I won't put that behind her. Um, she was on something. If it wasn't drugs, it was drinking. TMZ was really good. She did show her foot, and she mentioned also, while what? You're not making sense. You're not making sense, Laura. Um, let's see. No. He says bodily autonomy is not a pick and choose stance. It's a stance of consistency. Being anti-mandate and pro-life is hypocritical. No, because we all know mandates don't work. We all know that. So it's not hypocritical. Mandates don't work. The vaccine doesn't work. So it's not hypocritical to say you're anti this vaccine, anti mandate, knowing that those two things don't work. Um, yeah, I do hope she gets better soon. Mental health issues, it can. I mean, and I have it. Like, I mean, I'm not diagnosed, but it's hard. Like, it's hard to even like focus and do your job, and you have low energy. Y'all see my eyes right now. It's hard, and I'm sure she's going through whatever she's going through tenfold. So, um, but yeah, so I wish her well. I really do. I want to see her well. Um, yeah, she did good for herself, but all of that was a price of really nothing. Because you have all the money in the world, and you can still be unhappy. No husband. Your son is pretty much living his own life, going to college. I think he graduated probably, right? Or soon to be graduating. Um, living his own life, and then your sister and your brother, whatever. I don't know what the brother is doing, what the YouTube stuff, It's like you have no one, you know. And so when you have all of that money, but you have no real love, platonically or romantically, it's like, what's the point of being a multimillionaire if you don't have good people around you, you know? So that's the price she paid. That's the price she paid. But I wish her well, and I want her to come back. She has a podcast. I'm going to support it, but I don't think she's going to do the podcast. I really don't. And it's interesting the people that's covering her, they're not really being honest about her situation, her condition. You compared anti-mandate and pro-life. You're saying I can't be pro-life and being anti-mandate, and I said I can because being anti-mandate during this situation does not work. It does not work. Listen to Dr. J, the Indian guy. He talks about it. Well, you're talking to the wrong person. You got to call your local reps. But me personally, I'm pro-life, and I don't justify or apologize for it. That's how I feel. If you don't like it, oh well. But yeah, so I feel like if she gets her mental well-being in order, and she proves that she's reliable and she's insurable, which I don't know how she can prove that. I really don't. Then yeah, I'm sure Spotify, or she could do like Megyn Kelly. Like Megyn Kelly, when she got fired from that big ass talk show that she had with NBC, she got to deal with Sirius XM, and you do your YouTube channel, and there's no censorship, you know. And when she mentioned, or at least I heard someone say, I didn't hear her mention Dr. Oz and Trump. I'm like, Wendy, be careful about bringing up conservatives as guests on your show, because we live in a society where people will turn on you. I personally won't turn on her. She brings Donald Trump on the show, or if she brings Dr. Oz on the show. I don't care who the hell her guests are. I don't care, because I'm open-minded. But we all saw how the liberal audience, which pretty much encompasses probably 85% of Dr. Oz's talk show, turned on Dr. Oz, right? So I'm like, Wendy, be careful. Don't say you want Dr. Oz on your show and you want Donald Trump on your show. Because we live in a time where, no, she doesn't look all right. We live in a time where it's like people's going to be like, why do you have them on your show? I'm not supporting you, you know? But a lot of people don't notice Wendy's not a liberal, you know, based on shit she said on her show and in interviews. At best, she's probably a moderate, you know, but she's not a liberal. And I do recall when Donna Brazile was on her show, Donna Brazile was like, I want to invite you to our sisterhood and yada, yada, yada. And Wendy was like, And Donna was like, you should run for politics. She was like, no, you're not going to get me canceled. And so with her saying that, knowing who her audience is, that also confirmed that her politics is not what a lot of people think her politics actually is. So no, she's not all right. She's not, and I wish I was wrong. She's not all right. You know, she's not all right, and I'm not all right. Let me not say that, because I don't need YouTube content. I don't need YouTube contacting me again, because they did before. But I feel groggy right now. I don't know. No, that's two different things. Here's my friend. Buzzworthy, I'm about to put you on. So American autopsy, that's two different things. Normally, when government provides healthcare, housing, and food, that's more on a federal level. I'm not okay with that. I'm just not okay with abortion at all. Like, even if a state says they want to do it, I'm against that. And that's just my right. We can agree to disagree. That's the problem with this world. All right, Buzzworthy, you gotta give us the scoop from the beginning because I've been trying to have you on. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, friend. All right, give me
So
tell me who you are. So Buzzworthy, one
where are we
second.
starting from?
Hold on, friend, one second. So Buzzworthy is also a entertainment commentator. She keeps up with the entertainment topics and she be telling me some stuff that a lot of YouTubers don't even know. So she know her stuff. Start from where you feel like your expertise needs to be started from. Go ahead.
Well,
Well.
I don't even know what to say because I agree with you. Like, I'm just getting in from work, but I did hear the part where you was just like, she's not well. I mean, I'm not trying to say that to be mean because
Right.
sometimes when you be on social media, people are saying that to be mean. Like, oh,
Mhm.
she's still no. I'm not trying to do that is to be mean or to belittle what she's going through. I actually feel very much so bad for what she's going through, and I just think she just needs the right people around her. And it's just sad. Now, have you heard about her new manager?
Who's Will?
Well, Will is her old jeweler. Well, I can't say her old jeweler, but her jeweler.
Oh, I know who that is. Okay.
Yeah, his name is Big Will when when he does this because he's done custom pieces for Drake and all of them, so he's known in the business. And
Okay, so
he does have a PR firm, but he's mostly known for jewelry.
okay, so let's do this. Let's start from the beginning because a lot of people I feel like they're confused about her situation. Let's start about her saying she's going to come back to her show, and then when she did not come back, she released the first statement saying she had COVID. Let's start from there and until now. You want to do that?
Okay, like I said, I believe then. Okay, if y'all think about it, back then Kevin had just had his party. Remember, she had threw him a party for his 21st birthday. She was in Florida. It's a picture. I don't even know if it's because Lil Kevin took it off his Instagram, but I think if you go back on the Wendy show page, it's still on her old Instagram when she was still giving them pictures for them to post.
And when's Kevin's birthday? The son.
It was that was August. Yep, the sun
August.
last
Okay.
August. Yep, last August. She went to this party. She even came back to New York. Okay, and that's when you had that picture of her talking about her boyfriend, that white guy.
Okay.
Remember? And
The
yes,
doctor.
I don't know who he was, but it looked like they was sitting in a car when she was talking about
Oh, the
her
black
son.
dude.
No, the white guy. Remember, if you go back to her Wendy, if you got to go to her Wendy Williams account, back her old Instagram, you got to go way back to her pictures. It was
Okay.
this white dude, and she was just saying like, she was back from Florida. Kevin had a good time. And everybody was happy, even her boyfriend. It was her and this white dude. I don't even
Okay.
know. Okay, so then after that we started getting these little weird messages talking about she's not doing promo. And it was like, okay, what's really going on? Because she was just out. I mean, posting like usual. She went to celebrate her son's birthday. So what happened? I honestly think because from what I heard, she had been struggling all summer. And people who saw her at Kevin's party started to see that too.
Okay.
And so I think maybe then it was like a mental break. Like I do believe she was dealing with depression and she
I have
probably
it too. It's hard. I'm
yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, I
I'm not
know.
diagnosed, but it's hard. I'm telling you. Especially these 2 years, like it's hard. And I remember she was at a party. It was a barbecue. It was a barbecue, like kind of party, right? Or
No,
no?
but I heard about that too. That was that summer too. And I heard about
Okay.
that too, that when her friend took her to that barbecue, they were saying that, she wasn't all
Okay.
the way there. Yeah. But so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. Go ahead. Now what's next?
So I think she was dealing with depression. They gave her some antidepressants, and she was probably self-medicating, which led to virtually a relapse. So not only was she dealing with depression, but we talking about substance abuse
Allegedly,
issues.
y'all. Yeah.
Allegedly, as she would say.
Uh huh.
So allegedly, she was dealing with that,
uh huh.
and I think they said she wasn't gonna do promo because I thought they think that they could, as they normally do, that they could clean her up like they did that last time.
Mm,
But I
allegedly.
think, yeah, allegedly. So,
I'm so ghetto. Look, this is Fruit Punch, y'all. I don't drink. All
oh
right,
my
not
God,
sponsored.
I love it. I love it. I
Go
love
ahead.
it.
That's
I
why I
love
fuck
it,
with Wendy
friend.
because she do the same shit. But go ahead.
I love it. I love it, friend.
Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so I believe that's what happened. She was dealing with that, and then I believe her son probably was like, "We need to get you some real help, with your mental and even with the alleged, other things that's going on with you allegedly." So I believe that happened. I believe she was like, well, I'm going to really, get myself together allegedly. They wanted her to stay in New York so they can hurry up, get her back on the show. Cause now they're losing money. You got to remember, cause now at this point they're losing money. So they want her in New York so they can hurry up, get her better and get her back out there like they've been doing. We've seen her, there, barely there and, allegedly not there. We've seen it in all phases. So I believe when she decided to leave, they got mad. And yeah, that's when they
So
started leaking stories. Because you notice when they first was giving out statements and stuff, I think she was working with them. But then when she decided to go to Florida and get some help and be by her family, that's when, of course, no more communication. They started leaking stories because they was like, well, she gone, she don't want to work with us, and
allegedly, y'all. We don't know
allegedly,
about the leaking stories part, but
allegedly,
we know
alle-
that's what they do. They do it at the View, so we know that. But yeah.
allegedly, they leaked the stories because, of course, she
Right.
left, went to Florida to get herself together, and of course, allegedly, they wanted her in New York so they can get her back out on that stage so they can recoup some of that money and not keep paying these guest hosts.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's why we stopped getting them statements. Remember, we were getting like some,
We got three of them. Now
we
I know
got
we got three of them. We got the COVID, then the lymphedema, then the Graves' disease, and then that's when they started the first show, October 18th.
right. And I think
Yeah,
that's when they were all working together. They were going to try to allegedly get her back, get her some help, and then clean her up in enough time to like get her back out there. They've
right.
done allegedly they've done it before.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
That's not even no doubt.
Right.
Yeah,
So but I think I believe allegedly that Lil Kev did give her that ultimatum, and she loved that little boy.
yeah.
So of course. And so once she started, they stopped working together. We stopped getting those statements. Then we getting all these stories. And let's be real, us here on YouTube, we know that those stories weren't fabrications. We had been hearing those stories around here for over a year and a half, what her alleged behavior was. But my thing was, why is all these alleged stories coming out now when we had been heard about it? They were almost 2 years old. But you want to know why? Because they wanted to make her allegedly look bad. You know,
I don't know. I don't know if they want to make her look bad. I don't know.
I do because after that, because now think about it.
Because
After
when she
that,
was at the show, there was no like I don't know if it was the company, but they were still doing stories about her. When she was at her job too. You know.
what stories were you really getting that was like really bombarded that really hit mainstream? I'm not talking about YouTube because the YouTube streets been broke this
Right.
story.
No, so I remember her addressing this story one time on the air when she was going to that sober house. That's one time,
Oh
and
yeah,
there was
I'm
another
talking about
time.
all this stuff. Yeah, that I'm talking about all the stuff about the alleged behavior, about her being allegedly intoxicated and allegedly being unclothed and cussing people out. That
Okay,
time.
there was one story that was out there, but I can't. Yeah, I don't want to say what because then that's gonna relinquish the person that was with her on the show that I promised. But like there was no, there were like one or two maybe of her not being a good mom or something or something like that or one of the blogs. I think it was her about her parenting. Yeah, because someone on Ask Wendy asked her about um, how to do something with her child, and she was like, "Well, I don't know why you're asking me because the blogs are saying I'm not a good mother." Um, so I don't know, but go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I think I kind of remember what you're talking about.
Saw that on one of those YouTubers that well, they're not YouTubers, but they put all the montages on of her Ask Wendy's, and I saw all of them. Like. And I
Yeah,
watched
I kind
all
of
of them.
remember when you said that. I kind of vaguely remember, but I'm trying to remember what
Right.
the full story was. But when you said that, it kind of remember, but I don't remember what the full story was. I remember one time when she was crying, saying her son didn't like her, but I think that's what
Yo,
teenagers
that
do.
was no. This one, what I'm
Yeah,
talking about, this was probably like in 2019. The son part was when he was 13 years old, and that was years ago.
yeah.
Yeah, that's when Barbara
Oh,
Walters was on the View, and she was like, "I don't know what you fussing over." And when it was like,
right.
"I'm a mother, Barbara."
So,
That was a long time ago. That was a long. I remember that. That was a long time.
but you know what? I think maybe she was kind of addressing that when it was talking about the whole alleged Dr. Savy thing when she went to go on tour, and then Kevin went to go take Lil Kev to alleged to go to Dr.
Oh, with the
Savy.
K, what was it? The K2 with the
Yeah, maybe that's what
yeah.
she was talking about. Because remember, she had to go do her comedy tour.
No, but he was 18 during that time, huh? No, he was probably like what, 16 maybe?
Yeah, 16 or 17.
Yeah. No, that was a
So,
separate one. But go ahead, continue on with
okay.
the Wendy stuff.
Well, yeah, cause I'm just trying to remember because I kind of remember her saying it, but I'm just trying to remember where was that linked to. But anyway, so I do believe that they started leaking some stories that were, I'm not saying were necessarily untrue, but old stories. And, I believe that Wells Fargo was already looking. I think there was already somewhat of an investigation, allegedly, and allegedly those stories didn't help. So you got those stories coming out, and I believe that we wouldn't have gotten a Wendy update like with that video on her on the beach. We wouldn't have probably gotten that if there was no Wells Fargo's case allegedly, because I believe she was probably content and was gonna probably stay in her little bubble trying to get well. But when you start messing with her money, and allegedly her son can't even finish school.
Wait.
Yeah.
Did we know about the Wells Fargo when she came out with that Miami Beach video? I don't
Yes.
think we knew about
Mhm.
that. Did we?
Yep. Yep. Do the
Uh,
timeline. Yep. It can't.
I've been away from Wendy. It's just too much to deal with. I just was like, you know what? I'm tired. I give
Oh,
up.
oh no, it's way too much because, like you said from the beginning, I'm like, oh, you sure? We'll be here all night. But yeah, I'm just giving you the condensed version. So I believe that, yeah. So she went on the beach because I mean, she was trying to fight for her money. Which way to fight for your money? Just to say, you know, I'm a sound mind and body. That's why they was on the beach. That's why he was asking her questions. So they could be like, oh, okay, she is a sound. Because a lot of people was like, where is she? If she's so called a sound mind and body, where is she then? So then they did that video. And that's when we start seeing it out a little
Uh,
bit more.
I don't think it was when they're in Wells Fargo because I remember when Chronicles did that video and she was so adamant that Wendy was well and everything. I'm like, because she got that video because they saw her that video too. While I
Yeah,
believe
no,
another
I'm
big
trying to
source
tell
like
you.
TMZ had it
See,
as well.
I'm
And
trying to
so
tell you. The Wells Fargo, because Chronicles
I'm
did
looking right
the
now. Hold on.
yeah,
But
go to
go ahead.
Chronicles, timeline. She broke down the Wells Fargo paperwork, and then you will see the video when she discusses Wendy on the beach. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All
it
right.
was. I'm trying to
Go ahead.
tell you, all this correlates.
All right. So the beach video was on February 16th.
And when were they suing her? I mean, when was she suing Wells
February,
Fargo?
March, April, May, June. See, I probably heard about the Wells. Okay, it's probably yeah. This year went by
Go,
quick, so it probably was about 4 months now. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, go to Chronicles, because if you look at her videos,
Okay.
where she
So keep
broke.
going. Keep going. Keep
Okay,
talking.
so basically, with that being said, she kind of had to defend herself to try to get her money, because now her livelihood is being attacked. So that's when we started seeing her
Hmm.
out more. And it was crazy because now that's where I guess we were starting to see the little holes in the story about her being so well. Because unfortunately, I don't think she should have her money taken away. I do not. I don't believe in this alleged conservatorship, because she might not be all the way there, but she knows enough to have
You're
access to
right
her
about the
money.
Wells Fargo. You're
Yeah.
right. That's why you won't hear talking. Go ahead. Go ahead. It was she. The video was February 9th, and then her on the beach was February 16th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because she
Yeah.
needed her money back.
She went
Yeah.
in. Remember, when nobody had really seen Wendy. The closest we seen was when she was in that wellness center, walking out barefoot in that robe, and
Yeah,
she
and then we
barely.
all know through history, Wells Fargo has a portfolio of dealing with being racist and prejudice. You know, we all know that towards
Ex-
the black community. I mean, it's been documented. You know, but go ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when that happened, she had to fight. So that's when we started seeing getting these video. We got that beach video. We started seeing her out more, and like I said, now we're starting to see that there was some issues, and maybe that's why we're starting to see why she couldn't come back. Like a lot of people was like, oh, she's not addressing her fans, she's not addressing her fans. Obviously she can't. I feel like she's trying to fight to regain whatever she has left, but she can't put it all the way together. It's like she's trying to articulate, but she can't.
Mm.
And so I don't know if it's dementia or what it is, but it's definitely some cognitive damage. And so I think that they use that. Like I said, Delmar Mercury leaking those stories allegedly was not, that didn't help, but they were upset. I feel like she handled everything right? No, but I feel like they were petty out of frustration. You know what I'm saying? I think all this was a two-way street, a whole messy
Mm.
two-way street. So, um, I believe that a lot of her being out in public and stuff, and her trying to fight. Of course, she want her job. I mean, of course, she loves her fans and loves what she does. But a lot of this too is dealing with trying to get her money. Even with the podcast thing, she probably is trying to get some type of income coming in.
Mm. Yeah.
So
Then in the TMZ interview, she mentioned that she don't need to work though. I think she mentioned that or
yeah,
something.
she said she don't need
Yeah.
to work, but listen to all the other stuff she was saying. She one minute she said she was coming back to the show. Now, oh, excuse me, I'm
Right.
officially retired. I'm okay with it. Bow out gracefully. Wait a minute. Bowing out gracefully sounds like they probably told you, just bow out gracefully. Sit your butt down, bow out gracefully. And that's what she keeps repeating herself. So that's
Right.
probably what they told her.
Right. Because I do recall her always saying on her show that she's gonna leave her show on her own terms. She's
Right,
not gonna get kicked out. Well, she got kicked out.
right.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. And that's the sad part. I really do feel like that's the sad part. I hate that they couldn't, because whatever her condition is allegedly, I feel as though it's not to the point where they couldn't have done a pre-recorded situation where she couldn't been involved. Now I heard that they didn't want her in studio because she was uninsurable, and they wanted her to do a video montage, be a part of the video montage, and she refused. Now I feel as though
She
that
refused to come to the studio.
no, I felt no. I heard that she was uninsurable, so they couldn't have her come to the studio. She didn't
Why
want to get a.
uninsurable? Why? Because of her condition?
Allegedly that's what I heard.
Is
I'm
she
not sure.
allegedly not vaccinated still?
I don't know. That I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know about the vaccination thing. I was starting to look into that because it started to make a little bit of sense too. That could
No,
have
because
a.
I saw it in the little comments, like on her page a while back, and one commenter wrote that I don't know if this is true. I think they wrote that they work like in production, and the rumor is she's not vaccinated. You know,
Well,
so
it would be too
allegedly.
far fetched because she publicly went against
Right,
it. Remember?
right, yeah, for sure, of
Yep.
course.
Yep. So
And you have to be in the media streets. You have to, you
right.
know.
And like you said, once that mandate became,
Oh yeah, and I would know because there's some jobs out there and they're not having it if you're not vaccinated. So I mean,
yeah,
trust me. So I still feel like she's not. I
yeah,
don't think she took it, but
it
and
could
then
be
she live in Florida. That's even another thing. You know,
right.
they give you
Exactly.
free will over there. So
No, you're right. You're right. And so no, for real. So she
yeah,
coming back and forth from Florida. New York City already had that mandate, and she was refusing to. Oh yeah, that could be an issue too.
and I don't blame her. I really don't. But go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, so allegedly, I think that's how we got into the situation where we in now. I hate, like I said, I feel like they could have did some type of situation where the whole hour should have been about her, whether she was there or not.
Right.
She did 13. I mean, okay, let's scratch 13. 12 seasons. You had 12 seasons worth of footage where y'all could have did that right, whether she was there or not. That's what I'm upset about. That's how I know that they're doing some things out of spite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Did you watch the last episode?
No, I saw clips, and
Yeah.
I do. What I do find interesting is that you can't even find it on YouTube. So if you didn't watch the clips that day, you wouldn't be able to find it. It's not on YouTube. There's not even clips on her old Instagram page. You know,
No, the show I saw it on some other username on YouTube, but what got to me was so you can still find pieces of it, but what got to me was is that it was kind of like a F you to Wendy. We're not putting your last show on your YouTube page anymore because they always do that, you know. So by them not doing that, I was kind of like saying, "Kick rocks, we're done with you." You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
And I just don't like how that went down because they could have did something so much better. Like like I said, whether she was there or not, or if they wanted to incorporate her and they're trying to put her alleged condition as the reason, she's not too far gone where she can't be involved and y'all can't edit it. Like here's the thing, they recorded that on Thursday. They treated it like any show day. And on Thursday they tape Friday show. So that would have been a Friday
Mm.
show anyway. It would have been pre-taped anyway. They could have pre-taped that and edited whatever was needed if they really, you know, if they wanted her to be a part of it as far as
Mm.
because I mean that could have been edited. She's not that far gone. Mm.
From your comments, I feel like you had like a light bulb went off because I feel like at first you were a little bit biased because you were a fan of Wendy's, but now you're like, you know what? She got to take some type of responsibility as well. Am I wrong?
No, I've always said that, but yeah, it's like
No, because talking to you in the past, it was like, no, Wendy is not Wendy's fault. It's Demi Mercury.
oh,
Remember how the
oh
conversation
yeah,
we
oh yeah.
had? But now I feel like you kind of like, you know what? She got to take some type of responsibility.
Oh yeah, when you start really digging, you'll see. And so yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, if I like had a full circle moment, I guess you could say because I'm not letting Delmar Mercury off the hook, but I do feel like they were frustrated with her. They lost a lot of money, you
Oh yeah,
know. They lost a lot of
yeah,
money. Uh, they were trying to get her help in New York. Her son put his foot down. I do believe that it was some instances where that I kind of believe a little bit of what her ex husband said. I do believe that some allegedly some people had to come up there because who would have? Hey, allegedly.
to take the chair and the wigs and everything.
I do believe that I believe they gave her a certain amount of time that she wouldn't have picked it up. They would have did that. Which I think is sad because she has things in the Smithsonian already, so they could have just added that stuff over there.
Right,
They didn't have to
right.
threaten to throw it away.
So in terms of her picking, in terms of her husband saying pick stuff up, you're talking about the whole chair, right?
No, I'm talking about as far as when they said she had to have allegedly two blood transfusions and things
Oh,
like that.
I didn't even watch the whole hour video he did. I'm like, okay, you boring. I'm done.
Oh, trust me, it was a lot. I did too. Don't feel bad. A lot,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah,
know
no,
what's
I
so
recall him saying the son had to take responsibility and like defend his mother and everything because they wouldn't help her and stuff like that. But now I'm like,
yeah, yep. Now,
yeah,
and you're right. That was before. So basically, he had to demand that they let the supposedly the ambulance or allegedly the police could get up there to see his mom because they weren't gonna let him up there. And come to find out, once they got up there, she allegedly had to have two blood transfusions. So I don't know what they found when they allegedly got up there, but hey, allegedly
oh,
it was a mess.
oh. A lot of people were saying that Sherry was off during the last day, like something was off about her.
I didn't see it, but I would imagine so. I mean, Cher's been getting tore down. I don't know if you've been watching the comments and stuff like that. So she probably felt like this is. I'm ending somebody else's show. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I do have a job to do. It was like a juggling act, and you can kind of see
Mm.
she was trying to figure out how to juggle it.
Yeah, because I mean, I can see where her last show, which was the last day of Wendy, she was a little off because it's kind of like, okay, I don't know how this is gonna go since this is like the last show, and then she also had to realize, shit, I'm gonna have to deal with the scrutiny from the fans if they're not really satisfied with Wendy not getting a good farewell, or if this farewell is good enough or not. So I could see where she probably felt like it was a lot of pressure.
And the funny thing is, and I want to actually tell Sherry this, I started watching her podcast to be nosy,
Uh
and
huh.
I actually like her podcast, and she should try to blow that up instead of trying to be a talk show host. I actually like Two Funny Mamas, for real.
You feel like she's more relaxed with the two funny
Yes,
mamas. Yeah.
and I like how her and Kim Whitley play off each other because she's more like the straight laced person, and Kim is like all over the place, and they really balance each other out. I'm starting to like Two Funny Mamas. I feel like that is her lane, and they should kind of focus on that.
Yeah. She won an award. Didn't she win like an NAACP award?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, I went over there to be nosy because sometimes she would kind of spill a little bit of tea
Mm.
about when she would be, guest host on Wendy. And like I said, I started really liking it.
You gonna give her a shot with the show in
No,
September?
I'll see you on Two Funny Mamas. I'll be watching Two Funny Mamas.
You're not even gonna watch the first day. You gonna watch the
No,
first day. You gonna
no,
lurk and see.
no,
Come on now.
no. If I lurk, it'll be via Instagram.
No, but she is bothered because on Instagram she was dancing to a song and the woman was singing "I don't care," in terms of like what people think.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, so she knows what people are saying.
Exactly. So that's another reason why I think she was off. Because she knows that everybody is looking at her. And I do feel kind of bad because I feel like Denmark Mercury put her in this position to kind of like she's kind of like a pawn. Like I feel like she's taking this opportunity, which is rightfully so, because who wouldn't take the opportunity?
Right.
But it's kind of like you gotta I would take it too, but you also gotta think about the big picture. You know that they're using you as a pawn to kind of move Wendy out. Let's be honest. The only reason why I'm gonna say 10 good years. So anything after 10 years, the only reason why we had anything after 10 years with Wendy is because Wendy had that magic and brought in the ratings. After season 10, they've been trying to like find somebody to replace her because of all the backstage drama.
Allegedly, but we all know that's
Allegedly,
true though because
allegedly.
they thought Nick Cannon was going to be the show to replace
Right.
him.
They thought
Right.
Nick Cannon was going to be the show. Allegedly, they even was trying to get
Jerry
her.
O.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just getting to that. They even was trying to like convince her to go on board by saying, "Hey, we're gonna treat you like we treat Oprah. We're gonna have you be executive producer. You know how Oprah ushered in then ushered in, Rachel Ray and all them. We're gonna have you executive produce and start bringing in people, which was supposed to have been Jerry O if it didn't work.
Wait, Oprah's responsible for Rachel Ray as
I,
well?
I believe it was Rachel. Doctor, I know it's Dr.
Dr.
Phil.
Oz and Dr. Phil. That's the only two I know. I didn't know Rachel
I
Ray about
I
it.
think Rachel Ray. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on Rachel Ray. We'll just go with Dr. Phil
I
and
haven't
Dr.
watched
Oscar
Rachel
Phil.
Ray for a long time. Well, I used to watch her, years ago. Oprah was a talk show host at that time as well. So I don't
But
think.
no, I know she used to be on Oprah a lot too, though. So I
Okay.
don't know.
Mhm.
Again, I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but I know for sure
Don't
Dr.
lose your
Oz.
credibility now, Buzzword. You don't be like me.
I, Why do you say you lose your credibility? Everybody can't be right 1,000, 100% of
Right.
the time.
Right.
So whoever said you lost your credibility, whatever. Anyway.
Uh huh.
So I just believe that, yeah, like you said, they with Jerry O, they were even trying to, like I said, try to convince her that she was gonna be the next Oprah. Yeah, we're gonna have you executive produce. You're gonna usher him in, so she can kind of be with it. Because they were probably thinking, well, if she's with it, then her followers would be with it too. But it just wasn't working. So allegedly, I feel as though they've been trying to find the right format, the right formula, and it hasn't worked. But then when Sherry came back, because she's done this before, remember when Wendy took that first hiatus?
Mm.
Sherry, I'm not gonna lie, hit it out the park. First of all, she did great, but second, I'm gonna be real. The other host before her sucked. The guest host right before, like Kim, not Kim Whitley, Whitney Cummings, they had to pay people to sit in the audience for her. Um, you know, Leah Remedy and Michelle Visage. I actually like them, but they talk too much about themselves and didn't do hot topics.
I
So
was surprised with Leah because to me, Leah is like a hardcore. I don't give a damn what you think. I'm an ex Scientologist. You would think that she would not be scared to talk about celebrities. Come on now. I was like, what you doing?
right.
But okay. But go ahead.
That's what I thought too. And like I said,
Right.
I enjoyed her, but it was like we still need some hot topics.
Right.
So I could understand when Sherry finally came, it was like a breath of fresh air. So she hit the ratings out the park. And people want to say, oh, she had the highest rate. She had the highest ratings outside of Wendy's live show. So yeah, she beat the other co-hosts and she beat the reruns of Wendy that had been going on for months on end. So it was a breath of fresh air. So, and everybody was loving her as a fill-in. But when they were like, "Oh, we're about to give her the show," they were like, "Hold
Mm,
on now, you know,
mm.
she doing
Wasn't
too much."
everybody liking Nick Cannon as well years back when he hosted for Wendy?
Everybody likes them when they are doing Wendy's format. When they do their own format, it's like, not so much.
Yeah.
And they got to understand that too. Everybody's like, well, Sherry do good if she has it. Because some people even say in the comments, like, if she do the same format, she should be okay. She can't really do the same format. First of all, if you follow Wendy from radio, a lot of that was bought from radio. Yeah, Dema Mercury was quote unquote the bosses. They were the production company, and all of that. But they designed the show around her and what she would have done in radio. Like she had been doing Ask Wendy on radio. She had been doing Rachi Hot Topics since
Mm.
radio and all that stuff. They just converted into
Yeah,
made
you're
it
right. Because
talk
they
show
call
friendly.
her.
Yeah,
Denmark called her. Wendy
yeah,
didn't call them. They called her, and she was like, "You."
exactly.
She was like, when I remember when she told the story, she was like, "Do y'all know who I am? Like, and what I'm about?" And they're like, "Yeah," and we like what you do, and so
And we
that's how it
want it
started.
all. We want it
Right,
just to be you.
right,
So
right.
it's like a lot of things a lot of things they couldn't really take from her because first of all, even if they could, even if let's say, because she did get paid a lot of money, so let's say even if they did somehow because the money that she was ended up getting, that they did have some license. A lot of people are still going to compare and tear the person up in the comments. So I feel as though they know not to like be a carbon copy of Wendy because people are going to rip them to shreds, even if they did have.
Well, and that's not really Sherry's shtick,
Right,
anyway.
right. But I'm telling you, and a lot of people not gonna feel it because again, like you said, it's not her stick, and they're gonna find a show, they're gonna cater a show around her, that's catered to her and her personality, which is fine, but it's not gonna hit the same. Just like Jerry O didn't hit the same, just like Nick Cannon didn't hit the same.
Yeah, but Jerry on the Cannon, I mean, they wasn't really like Wendy. I don't know. They did it really different.
That's why it wasn't hitting the same because everybody was looking for Wendy.
But I mean, if there were like a host that came out the blue on TV and they did hot topics like Wendy, I wouldn't mind because Wendy did take hot topics from The View. So, I would have
She
watched.
took the name, but the way their hot topics was different. Like everybody was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, it
yeah,
came
you're
from the
right.
View." Yeah, the name came from the View, but the format of the hot topics was totally different. But yeah, you're right. She
I
did
wouldn't
take the
mind though.
name.
I would watch. Like if somebody want to be on TV eating popcorn and saying, eating popcorn, I'll be eating popcorn, whatever. Somebody's saying something about Diddy or whatever. I fucking watch. Like,
Oh yeah, I can see you doing it. I can see you. It's plenty of YouTubers. I hate to say this, but it's plenty of YouTubers that have put these quote unquote celebrities to shame that's getting these talk shows. Like I like that idea. Like I can see you totally eating popcorn and just talking crap about politics and pop culture.
well, I, mean,
I would
I
be here
meant I meant
for it.
y'all eating popcorn, but that's a good idea. Me eating popcorn.
Yes, I would totally be here for it. But your stitch would be unique because you also have a passion for politics.
I
So
do. Yeah.
it'd be like this new spin on politics, which are actually because you were incorporated with pop culture. You bring a new generation, and not new
Oh,
generation, but
you
a new.
popcorn. Y'all heifers need to stop being promiscuous.
Uh,
Stop all that.
uh, you would bring a new audience into like getting involved in politics, though you would, because I think a younger generation would kind of really like your attitude and what you bring to your outlook on politics.
And a
For
lot of
real.
people that are younger, I feel like they don't. The people I talk to outside, they're like they don't know. Like they're like I don't know where I am politically. One guy was like, I just want people to be happy. I'm like, well, happiness is not going to happen. This country is stolen land. It's not. Somebody's going to complain about something.
Hmm.
And some people they're just like they don't know because they're not informed. And this is how it is. Like the young folks, they don't know what's
That's
going on in the world.
that's why we need somebody like you. You could, cause I'm telling
Yeah.
you, you would
You know.
lure them in, and you would be educating them while they're laughing, while they're being entertained.
All right, pitch me that show to somebody, then we'll get it rolling.
Not for real. Like I could totally see that. I
That's
could.
a good concept, though. That's actually a good concept. Um,
Yeah.
making it funny and fun, and also informative at the same time. You
And
know.
you already do that. Like for real.
Oh no,
Like
I piss people off.
I mean, but that's part of your stitch too. I mean, you being but no, but for real, you gotta be you. Cause the thing about it is, I don't like anybody who does. Cause I was always taught if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So,
Right,
so that's another thing. Your political views, yeah, okay, everybody's not going to agree with you, but people will still get informed. People will still get
right.
entertained. You know, I mean, think about it. People trash the view and you know how many times, because I'm a fan of the view too, and
Mhm.
Wendy, you know how many times people would be like, good, Wendy's gone, take the view with her. They both should be gone. Like,
So
people don't
Whoopi's
like the
gone.
view.
Who's gone?
They,
Whoopi said.
no, they said Wendy's gone because I've been reading this whole thing about Wendy.
Oh,
You know
oh,
how many times I seen the comments? I'm glad Wendy's show is gonna take the view with her.
oh yeah. There's comments about Wendy too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they be like, so I'm saying this. Don't nobody really. I mean, people be having issues with the view too, but
Oh yeah. Oh
but
for
it's
sure.
still,
Fox News talk about them all the time. Yeah.
exactly. But they've been here for over, I want to say, 20 years.
Right.
So you're gonna piss people off, but that's gonna be part of your charm. So who cares about you pissing people off?
No, I don't care personally, but I mean, it's like if most of your audience lean on the left, and then this pandemic opened your eyes, and maybe your perspective changes. My subscriber gonna stay at 35K forever.
Yeah.
And it has been, at 35K for a long time, for
No,
a year.
and,
Huh?
and I understand your dilemma in the sense of, like you said, you thought one way politically, and now with
This
all that,
pandemic, dog. Oh my God. Yeah.
now with the state of the world, it is making you see things a little differently, and I can understand that too.
Hmm.
It will make it, like, for me personally, it's not making me want to vote Republican, but it's not making me want to rush out to be a Democrat either. It's making me want to be an independent because I don't know which way to go.
Right. Yeah.
So
You're not gonna give Sherry a chance? I did a poll, and like 52% said that she'll last. The poll was, do you think Sherry would last maximum 2 seasons? 52% said yes, and then 48% said no. So it's a little balance.
I can see her doing 2 years, but that don't mean I'm watching. She and then let me tell you why. I think she'll get 2 seasons. Why? Because Denmark Mercury do not want to look like losers, so they gotta at least give her another season so it doesn't look like another flop, like everybody's
uh,
telling her, and like everybody's leaving her comments that her show gonna be a flop. So they
I
got
would
something to
say
push.
this: I'm more into watching Sherry, well, more curious to see how it's going to be versus watching Jennifer Hudson. You see what I mean? Because I
Yeah,
knew what Jennifer going to do. She probably going to sing, which is good. And it's gonna be like Ellen, whatever, or Jimmy Fallon, because Jimmy Fallon he does singing segments too.
yeah, or Kelly
Yeah, it's
Clarkson.
not really my kind of show, but you know,
Yeah.
you gonna watch Jennifer Hudson?
I don't. I like her
I'll
as
give
a
her a
singer.
shot
I
first
don't.
day, first
I
week.
I like her as a singer, but I don't know. I don't know enough about her personality to be
I
like, oh, I
don't
want to watch her
either.
show.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying.
But you know what? I do think we as a society has been kind of, I want to say, spoiled and knowing who people are. Because remember when reality TV and all that stuff first came out, we didn't know who half these people were. Now, when a newcomer comes on TV, we don't know who that person is. I'm like, why do we have to know every single body? So I'm like, I don't know her personality, but why do I have to know her personality I should give her a chance? Because just because I don't know her personality doesn't mean I shouldn't.
Do you think Kelly Clarkson's audience knew her personality before she came a talk show host?
I don't think so. And look how good she's doing.
So
So
does that mean white women give white talk show hosts more of a leeway, more of a chance than black women or black people give black show hosts that are singers or something, or that they don't know their personality in terms of support?
that's a good question because I don't know. We gotta see because this is the first time we're
I
gonna.
always hear that shit that black people don't support other black people. Don't you hear that?
Oh
I
yeah,
hear it a lot.
I do. Now that I do hear. Now that I definitely hear, and I do feel as though like I'm not gonna say we don't support, but I feel as though like we get outraged about the wrong things, or we get outraged about the right things, but then don't stick with it. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
when you think about it, Jennifer Hudson and Kelly Clarkson, they're not really different. They both was big, and then they
Yep.
lost weight. Well, Kelly's who you laughing? Kelly's on and off of her weight, but Jennifer stayed, the
Right.
weight loss.
They both
Um,
was on American Idol.
right, yeah, you see what I mean? So that's why I brought that question, because it's like we didn't really know who Kelly was. I don't know. I mean, I don't follow her like that to even know what she sings about, but but you see what I mean?
Yeah, now
They're
I
both
actually did used to
singers.
like her. I actually did used to like her music. So, but yeah,
She sings. I know some of her songs. I hear it on the radio, whatever, in the gym or dollar store, whatever. But
give
you
a
recognize
dollar
the
store.
voice, huh? Yeah,
I said you should give her a dollar store.
dollar store play music. Yeah, you go to Dollar Tree or whatever, get you some trash bags or something. Yeah, yeah. Um, but what I'm saying is they're both singers, and we really don't know both of them on a personal level. And they come from that time where it's like people just sang. They didn't talk politics. They didn't say their opinion. They just, I mean, they were on PR, just saying, shut up, don't talk about politics. And those two females, they come from that time. Now all of these new singers and actors, and they want to talk, they want to give out their political perspectives.
That's true.
So, I mean, but they're both from the same. They got discovered the same way. So I don't know.
We shall see.
I guess maybe because people have thought of Kelly as like Ricky Lake, because Ricky Lake was big as well, and
Right.
she's relatable. So maybe it's the whole white woman thing. You think so? I don't know.
You made some good points. I do believe that,
Because her show won like a lot of Emmys, like Kelly Clarkson.
it did.
Yeah, she won like an Emmy or two the first
Now,
year.
see,
Yeah.
you know what? See, because the Emmys no longer come on TV, I kind of lost track. Like, I don't watch
No,
the
I saw
streaming.
a post. I don't watch the Emmys. I just saw the news. Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
wow. See, yeah, I didn't even know.
She got like over 1 million subscribers in her first year from her talk show.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
on YouTube. Yeah.
Good job, Kelly.
So that's what I'm asking. Maybe it's the whole Ricky Lake thing. I don't know.
I don't know, but
Because she
I mean,
seems
you got a good point.
relatable and
You
she's
got a
down
good
to
point.
earth.
Maybe it is the Ricky Lake thing.
Right. And she's not jaded. Like it seems like she's really person the industry really didn't change. Yeah, she almost got 2 million actually. She's only been on for less than a year, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Oh, maybe 3 years, because I'm looking at her channel now. Maybe going on 3 years, but still, that's good. To be on TV for 3 years, and then she had that show during the pandemic. Oh yeah, and it's still on air. Oh, if you can get through the pandemic with a talk show, then you're gonna be good. Ricky had audience dissing her on her own show. She probably did. I know Ricky Lake had some interesting topics, on her show. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's the whole relatability-ness, because there aren't really a lot of black solo talk show hosts. Um,
It's not, and that's another reason why I was so pissed about how they did Wendy, because some people were like, I don't understand why some people were mad and let it go. And it's like, it's not even about the show being canceled. It's like, life goes on, shows end. Don't nobody care about that. It's the way it ended that, for me personally, made me upset, because I felt like outside of Oprah, like Tamara Hall said, she is the second running longest black woman solo talk show host. And she
Tamron is.
did
I like Tamron. Don't get me wrong, but she's so corny to me.
oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
she is, but she brought
I
up a
don't
good
like how
point
she
about
called
that.
her fans Tam Fam. That's so fucking corny. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's corny.
she
That's
is.
so fucking corny. I like her, but don't get me wrong. This,
No, I agree. But I do think she
I'm
had a good
surprised she's
point
still
about
on
that.
air, and I feel like Oprah helping her stay on air.
Probably so.
Who watches a talk show that's about news? You can get news everywhere. Why would you want to watch a talk show about news?
Right.
It makes no sense.
I do believe, she's under the Oprah umbrella. So
Oh,
forgive her.
own play her, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, her show, for sure.
So she got
And then
that
she
back
had
on.
Harvey Weinstein. You saw the interview she had with the Breakfast Club?
Oh, I saw bits and pieces,
She
but I didn't.
said Harvey Weinstein helped her get in the door. So then DJ Envy said something to the fact that he was like, "So Harvey Weinstein helped you get your talk show?" She was like, "No, he aided me to get the talk show."
Oh
You know.
wow.
So I wasn't surprised when she said that because Oprah is good friends or was good friends with Weinstein. So that
Yeah.
was, and then that's when the allegations came public, and then it was like now she was in a room without him.
Mhm.
But yeah, he helped. He helped you get the show. Come on, let's be honest.
Wow.
Because it's like white will get you service, right? And I
That
don't
is
like playing the race card, but
crazy.
it still remains true. It does. It remains true. Because had she been like going about it by her being a woman and a black woman, then it would probably been a little bit more hard. You see what I mean? Like they want to
No,
take her seriously.
no, I agree with everything you said. So you put me up on game about this whole time.
I wasn't
All
surprised
this.
when she said that. That my mouth did not. I was like, well, I mean, y'all, you and Oprah, y'all sort of friends, and.
Right.
And I'm sure Oprah knew what he was doing. I'm sure it was an open secret in Hollywood as to what Weinstein was doing.
Exactly.
And so,
Exactly. And then it caught up with him, became public knowledge, and then everybody want to be like, "What? No, y'all
right,
knew."
because and I feel like that was Oprah's sacrificial lamb, to
Hmm.
to be dealt with someone like that, and then in order to get your own type of network after that. You see what I mean?
Yep.
I don't like saying it, but I feel like that's the only way you can get a network and be a minority, right? I mean, that's just how I feel. I don't know, but uh, you agree?
I agree. Well, no, I agree. There's a lot of shady stuff, and you got to do a lot of shady things in order to get to that level. So I agree.
Right, because I saw her on CBS this morning, Oprah, and then a white woman asked her about the Weinstein situation, and she sort of like deflected from it, her answer. I'm like, come on, girl, we all know you knew. Stop that.
Right. Like you
So
said, it was an open secret.
it was an open secret. That's how I feel. And like R. Kelly was an well, even people that listen to R. Kelly, like the rumors was always there.
No, you can say
Um,
it. I believe it was kind of like an open secret in the sense of, like you said, even us as fans, we knew the rumors, we heard the speculation, but we would still go to his concert, still listen to his music and all that stuff, still try to get backstage, knowing that
well,
it was all this stuff
uh huh.
surrounding him.
When I say open secret, I mean the industry only knowing, not the public. But with R. Kelly, everybody, I mean, pretty much the rumors even with Bill Cosby, I mean, that shit used to be in the magazines and. So,
Yep, and I never forget he tried to get Wendy. That he called it to the radio station and went off on Wendy about, because she was trying to tell everybody about.
Wendy knew about the Aaliyah tape too. Like,
Yeah,
she got
that's another
slipped the
thing. That was
CD in a
another thing.
limo.
Everybody want to be like, "Oh, Wendy's this vile person. All she did was just drag people
She saw
and
the
like."
video of R. Kelly and Aaliyah allegedly doing it.
Yep. But that's what I was trying to tell people. It's like she may have been insensitive at times, but one thing you can't say about her is that she was a liar. Now, did she expose some things she had no business exposing sometimes? Yeah. But she had the tea. Wendy always had the tea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
whether she was the right to expose it, that's debatable. But she always had the tea.
Yeah. Because I remember when she defended R. Kelly, and then she got a lot of heat from it.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
because I
the
remember that
following day,
story.
she was like, "I hope he lies on a sword." So she changed her perspective because she got a lot of heat. You
Yeah,
know.
that was I remember that the higher ups were on her butt. Cause
Yeah.
remember she detailed the whole story. And matter of fact, it's in R. Kelly's song, that little I think it's a 10-minute song. It's called I Admit It. He talks about their meeting and this and as everything he said is what she said. They he called her up and he wanted to talk to her. She came out. They went out to this. They went out to I don't know this bar, this lounge or whatever. Sat in the back and they were talking. And she was asking him about all about the Leah thing and his childhood, and everything. And he told her everything about
Oh
Leah,
yeah. Yeah, but
about
I'm
him being.
talking about what I'm saying is during her radio days, like she got slipped a tape of R. Kelly and
Oh
Aaliyah doing
yeah,
the business.
I know.
And she was 15 and he was in his late 20s, so she knew, like it's been in the streets for a long time. So, um,
Oh yeah, I remember when she saw the tape and she was talking
yeah,
about it on the radio. But I'm talking about when she got a lot of heat for standing up for him
yeah,
after.
oh yeah,
When,
yeah,
like years and years later, like after this, when she was on the talk show and she came back on the show and was talking about how they met up, and she was like, we had a long talk, and she was like, hurt people, and all this other stuff, and the higher ups were not having it. Like you cannot seem as though you are defending him, like it was a
yeah.
whole thing, and
I'm
all she was.
surprised. I'm surprised she didn't get heat when she defended, because Wendy's not really smart when it comes to some situations. When she defended Jesse Smollett, she was like, "I believe him. I believe him." You remember the episode?
Yeah,
Yeah, she was like, "I believe him." We met up, and I'm like, "Really? Come on now."
yep, her,
The
Cynthia, and
Britney
him.
Spears situation, same thing. She was like, "Death to them all." She was like, "I trusted you, Jamie Spears, and I trusted the wife." And then
Yep,
remember, she said, "Death to all of you."
yep.
Um, so she's not really smart when it comes to a lot of things. Um, like gullible, a little bit of gullible sometimes. But
Yeah, because it's like she's so smart on one hand, but so
right,
gullible on the other.
right. I know one or that blonde weave too attached to her brain or something. The blonde.
Yeah, like what is going on? Because she is so brilliant on one hand, and then so like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Right.
But
Yeah.
because you're right, because I'll never forget her and Cynthia went. Because remember, she was kind of on the fence about Jussie, and then when she went out with her Cynthia, and then they went to go meet up
Yeah.
with Jussie, she came back. Said, I believe him, like you said.
I'm like, really, Wendy?
All I got to do is hang out with you, and you change your story.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's like I already when she made that comment about the NAACP, I'm like, okay, you about to get something about to happen.
Right.
Remember? I was like, something about to happen, when she made that comment. Yeah. So, and then when all girl was on her show, Donna Brazile, and Donna Brazile was like, I want you to be invited to our sister circle. You should be in politics. And it was like, don't get me canceled.
Right.
Knowing that most of her audience lean left, so that tells me that she doesn't think that way, because she did say, are we still doing what is the C in NAACP? Is that colored? Are we still doing that? That's what she said. Um,
But the crazy thing is, she says stuff like that. See, I don't know. Her brain be all over the place because she'll say stuff like that. But then, if you really think about it, she will stand up and be like, "No, you guys are white up, are black appropriating, and
no,
she'll
I mean
say,
that's true. Shit still happens, like I do as well. But I mean, I do also recall, and this is still on YouTube, her being on Don Lemon. Don Lemon asked her, "Are you voting for Hillary or Trump?" She said no to both, and she's like, "I'm not." And then she did the little face because he kept asking her. She was like, "I'm not voting for any of them." And he
"Right,
asked her who, and then she made the lip. She does with her lips.
hmm
And her cheekbones and stuff. So,
oh yeah,
um, yeah. So, I mean, just because you talk that way, saying that, hey, um, let's talk race, or just talk about whatever it is, some racial thing, that doesn't mean you lean left. You know what I mean?
that is true. That is true. That's two different things. You're absolutely
Right.
right." That's
I mean,
absolutely
don't
right.
get me wrong. Sometimes I look at people sideways and they're like, I'm conservative, but they bring up the whole race stuff. I'm like, okay, because in the back of our minds, we're used to hearing like Republicans just specifically talk about a conservatism, and then their race shit is never even brought up. You see what I
Right.
mean? So I get what you're trying to say, but yeah, she said she's not voting for Hillary and she's not voting for Donald Trump. But so during that time in 2015 it was when she was on the show. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But her mom was good friends with that woman Shirley Chisholm, and she's a Democrat. So
Yeah.
yeah. But the way she talks sometimes, I feel like then when she told a gay person stop wearing our heels and dresses, and I was like, yeah, but you about to get heat from that shit too,
Right.
She did get heat. She had to come out with an apology video.
Right. Look, it was so funny
I saw
because
that video recently. I watched the montage and I was laughing when she said it. She was like, you know what, girls, what do we have for ourselves? They can't get manis and and petties, and they don't have the thing after 28 days. I was laughing when she told the man that,
But you know what? It was so funny. You talking about her apology. What had me roll, I mean, and I'm not trying to be funny in a sense of trying to be any form of disrespectful, but it was so funny when she
you don't
was like,
gotta
I apologize.
apologize. Say what you want to say.
She was like, I want to apologize for the LGBT. Like, she was trying to remember all the letters.
Wait, she messed up the letters?
She was trying, no, she didn't mess them up, but you could tell she was trying to remember them all. She was like, I want to apologize to the LGBTQ, like, because after a while, it's not just LGBT, it's not just LGB. It became LGBTQ, we getting all these letters now. So it's
She
kind of
said
funny.
we getting all these letters?
No, I'm saying that. I'm saying that. I can
Okay.
just tell that because we're starting to get all these different letters. She was trying to remember them all when she was doing her apology. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, but when she made that comment, I was like, yeah, prepare for
Oh yeah,
a windstorm.
and it was insensitive. It was insensitive, but I knew she was gonna get backlash.
No, because the guy in the audience said something, and and then that's what made her, I don't know. Like, to me, I didn't give a damn when she said that. I thought it was funny. And the whole Kanye West situation of her calling him a woman with the whole Amber Rose, that's on YouTube. That's one of my favorites. I watched that recently. I was laughing. Remember the whole situation when Kanye was accused of stealing a title of an album from a former rapper that's incarcerated, and Wiz Khalifa and Kanye got into it on Twitter, and then Kanye brought up the son and everything. Then Amber Rose came into the conversation. She was like, "You miss me playing, with your ass with my finger."
Oh,
yeah, that's still on YouTube. And then that's like that. That's one of her viral videos on YouTube. I watched that the other day and I was laughing.
I'm about to go start back watch her old videos too.
Dog, when I be eating shit, that's what I do. Like, I look up all the montages and stuff. That's how I knew about. She was talking about how someone in the blogs was calling her a bad mom or some shit. And this was like in 2019 or something. This was like not too long ago. But yeah, I watched all of them. Like
I gotta hurry up and watch it because they're privating a lot of her videos, and that's another thing that I find disrespectful. They privated a lot of her videos.
They did. Like, there was one with Robin Roberts when she first got on the show, and Robin was like, "I used to listen to you on the radio, and I wasn't out during that time, and I used to always say, please don't talk about me, please don't talk about me." And then they were talking about how Wendy didn't want to be a journalist because and that was one of my favorite interviews, and they took that down, or they privated it. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, I don't know if we ever gonna get someone like her. Maybe I'll be the next one. I don't know. God willing. I don't know. God willing. I don't know. I like Bill Maher's. You see, I mean, like, I'm multifaceted. The talk show is Bill Maher.
Yeah.
I like his show format. Like, he brings on podcasters and stuff like that. But then again, I also like the entertainment perspective, but I don't care about the housewives and all of that shit. And that's pretty
But
popular.
see, that's what I'm saying. You can create your own lane. I like that. I like the fact that, you like pop culture, but it's the certain things that you're not into. And I like the fact that, like you said, you would bring in maybe podcasters, YouTubers. I like that. You can talk politics, pop culture. You can bring
I like talk shows. That's what I like, So I really don't, the housewives, and I'm not really. The only reason why I know the Housewives is because of Wendy. That's it. Nene Leakes and all of them. I got
Yeah.
introduced to them by her. You know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's too much. It's so much. It's like what, 10 of them? You
Yeah.
know. Now, had Andy Cohen actually have a full Arabian cast for his recent franchise, The Housewives of Dubai, I would probably watch it. But it's like two women that are Arabian, and the other ones they're not even Arabian. I'm like, you know what? This is a just
Yeah.
cultural appropriation. I'm not watching this bullshit. But I'd probably watch. But yeah, so. But we wish her well. We want Wendy to do well, and I want Sherry to do well with her talk show.
I
It's
do too. I just feel like I just wish she would have took all those great reviews that she was getting for co-hosting and shopped her own show around to another network because it
She was
just
on
looked
The
like
View the other day. You saw her on The View, Sherry?
no. What was she
You can
talking about?
watch it on YouTube. I watched it today. She was talking about her talk show. She said her hot topics is going to be called "What's Poppin' Topics."
Oh
What you think
God,
about that?
this is exactly what I won't be watching. Right, that's it. Right,
No, but
that's stuff right there.
Flame
What's
Monroe's
popping?
also.
Popping? Get my Mercury these things butt whooped. They
Grandma
just
Mercury need a Jamal or somebody, someone black behind the
oh my
scenes.
goodness.
I don't know.
They
Look,
just put. Do you
Did John
realize?
Murray, her
I'm
executive producer,
sorry, but I'm sorry. You just blew me away. I did not mean to interrupt you, but you just blew
Go
me
ahead. No,
away.
go ahead. Talk. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Why would they need they butt whoop? They just combined with Nick Cannon's hot topics segment with Wendy's. What's
Wait, that's
poppin'
what Nick
topic?
Cannon called his? That's what Nick
His,
Cannon
his
calls
was
his?
his was called What's Poppin'. Wendy's was called Hot Topics. What's poppin'?
Really? I didn't know
They
that.
just merged it together.
Wow, that's a topic I could do on a video on. I didn't watch Nick Cannon show. I watched the first day and I was like, this shit not gonna last. Because he was not being himself. Because he almost, when he made that comment about the Jewish community,
Hmm.
yeah, I felt like he was not being his authentic self with that talk show. That's why it didn't last.
Yeah.
But damn, I didn't know that. Damn,
Yeah.
they stealing all kind of shit. Her
Yeah.
staff, her production, everything. But I
He
didn't know
had
that.
his hot topic segment was called What's Poppin', and of course Wendy's was called Hot Topic. So they just merged both of the titles together.
That's so corny. That's
What's
so
poppin'
corny.
topic? I'm
But
not
Flame
doing
Out
that.
Road's gonna be on the hot topic segments. You know that, right?
God.
I like Flame Monroe. But the thing is, a lot of people in the LGBT community don't like Flame Monroe. So I don't know if that would hurt or help Sherry.
Well, no, the thing about it is I heard a little bit about that. And so I am gonna go ahead and watch this interview. I'm gonna try to find it. But the issue is that I seen when she tried to incorporate that. One day she was co-hosting, I mean not co-hosting, guest hosting Wendy, and she had Flame on there and they was doing hot topics. Flame was in the audience or whatever, but they was
Yeah.
kind of doing hot topics. And I could kind of tell that that's what they was kind of testing out, and I don't think I'm gonna like it. That's why I said, "Oh well."
No, because she asked Flame about her comedy. So I don't think that was really a test because she just asked her about her comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like her because she's not with the identity politics. Although she's trans, she doesn't really care about
Right.
the pronouns and everything. So
Hmm.
people in the LGBTQ community, they don't like that. So I don't know how. And then Sherry Shepherd also doesn't agree with that lifestyle. So that's why I said I don't know if that's gonna help or hurt her by bringing Flame on. I don't know.
So Flame
So
Monroe is gonna do hot topics with her. This is gonna.
yeah, if you go on the Breakfast Club and watch the recent interview with Flame Monroe, she said that. Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah. So you still not messing with.
Now,
You know,
what I may do, because I'm kind of curious, what I may do is she
you
had
don't watch the first day.
nuh no, so she just stole Nick Cannon's YouTube channel. I'll probably watch it on YouTube.
That makes sense now because she stole it. Well, they took the channel, and so it's like that would also make sense that they took the hot topics, from Nick Cannon show and merged it and made it sound the same a little bit. That
Mhm.
makes sense. That makes sense. That's crazy.
They're doing everything. That's why I said I will give this 2 years because they really are trying to do everything they can not to make this a flop like Jerry
Right.
O and Nick Cannon because they know that she's their last chance because Wendy was their only successful talk show.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they done got away, they done got rid of their cash cow.
Yeah.
And so they put a lot of push towards Sherry. That's a lot of pressure on her too.
Because they're still like a growing company. I believe Denmore Mercury got established in 2005.
Yep.
So like YouTube 2005. So
Yep.
and they really don't have no talk show under their belt right now. So Sherry is like the only show if it gets
Yeah,
any
Wendy,
success.
they were a brand new company and Wendy put them on the
Yeah.
back. That's another reason why I'm like the disrespect.
Yeah. So you're not gonna try it. So what else we need to know about what's going on with Wendy? Like what else?
Nothing. We just gotta send good. We just gotta send good vibes for real. Cause just send her good vibes.
You would watch her podcast. I think she should do something like Megan Kelly, like do a Sirius XM deal, and then she could do the YouTube and just incorporate all the social media. Because Amanda Seals is with Sirius XM as well. She just got a job with them. So
Yeah, I
um,
think that she should go with like series or
yeah.
or anywhere where they will actually, provide her with all the stuff that she needs. Because Whitney needs to be the person that she can just come in and be the talent. So I think it should be like weekly, not every day, like maybe weekly or monthly. And
Mm,
yeah, and I think it should be the podcast would be great if it could be filmed. You know how some podcasts are filmed.
yeah.
Yep. Because actually, I don't listen to Sherry on her podcast. I actually watch the YouTube videos on Thursdays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'd rather watch Two Funny Mamas.
See, I really didn't watch. I mean, I don't know what they talk about.
Everything. I mean, they talk about anything in pop culture. Um, it's a lot of banter. Like the other week, well, like last Thursday, they were talking about because they just did a live podcast from the Laugh Factory, so they were kind of recapping that, and the behind the scenes stories were hilarious. Like I said,
Mm,
I just kind of like because it's like you said, it's more laid back, it's more chill. It's like she's just talking with her friends, so it's kind of cool. Like I said, I personally would. I like that, but I don't know about this talk show. I mean, like I said, since she stole Nick Candace's YouTube page, I'll probably watch it on YouTube.
but she's not gonna last, Sherry.
No, I give it 2 seasons. Like I said, they put all this money behind her and put all this. You see, she just had a meeting with all her affiliates. She posted that on her Instagram.
Yep. Yep.
I'm telling you, they doing whatever they can to make sure she's a success. So I definitely give her at least 2 years, 2 seasons, and then that's it.
Yeah, they advertising now, like they going everywhere.
Yeah. They giving her this push. They giving her more of a push to all the other shows because again they had their cash cow in their back pocket. So
Yeah.
of course it would have been great if Jerry O and Nick would have succeeded, but I mean they weren't as hurt. Now they have to make this successful. Like it's make or break.
Right.
And the thing is, they don't. They already compare Sherry, even though it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a different show. People already compare Sherry. They call them. They call Wendy capital P and Sherry lowercase p now.
Oh
Okay,
Lord.
they do. They call Sherry lowercase p.
You crazy.
They say
But
they
Sherry looking like she getting a body, with the gym and
Oh
everything.
yeah, she loses some weight, so her body is kind of like she started to get a little bit of a shape. But at first, it was like they shaped her like.
You crazy.
And that's why they called her lowercase p because she just short with Wendy's body.
You so crazy. I don't know. The
So
talk show game's
I don't know.
it's a little flaky and
Like I
Slick
said,
wife.
I do think it was disrespectful, but Wendy, she could have handled this a little bit better too. She definitely could have. Cause
It,
I feel as
mhm.
though, yes, I do think she was battling depression. So I don't like when everybody's like, alleged substance abuse. I do believe that has something to do with it, but I do believe it was a lot of depression. You gotta remember, in a 2 year span, she divorced her husband. We had the pandemic. Her mom died. Her
Right,
her illnesses got worse. Like her lymphedema was getting worse. So which made her
right,
mobility, compromised. It was a lot.
right.
So I do believe it was depression along with with alleged substance abuse and all that. So I believe she needs to take a little bit of responsibility in the fact that you got to deal with your mess. And I don't, and everybody would be like, cocaine, cocaine, cocaine. Some people know there's other drugs out here besides cocaine.
Yeah. I don't know what you think. Do you think it was more than depression? Because I mean, if you could be a functioning coke addict, I guess. I don't know. You think depression would probably be something really small or minimal? I don't know.
No, it depends. Because I've seen people
Right,
have total mental breaks, and that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a total mental break mixed with allegedly her being a bad alcoholic.
right. And she was younger during those days when she was on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
so
and I don't even think it was people were like, oh, she was back on, she was doing that powder. She like that nose candy. I think it was I think it was the sauce with some pills.
I remember Drew. What's his name? The white old man
Drew
with the
Pinsky. Uh,
yeah, him. He told Wendy that she wasn't an addict. She was just bored.
yeah,
That's what he said. I remember when they did a whole segment.
yeah,
That's what he told her. Like she needed something to do, so she found coke. Cause she quit
hey,
cold turkey. I mean, so I don't. That's kind of odd to just quit like that. I
yeah.
don't
But
know.
I feel as though she switched out one for another. I believe she stopped doing that. But she's always been a drinker, and I think the more stuff that piled up on her, the more she started to drink. Because remember, she used to tell people, "Oh, I don't do coke anymore, but I'll still drink and do and all this and that."
So she said that.
hmm Yep. Matter of fact, it was an old interview that she did with Mary J. Blige. They was talking about sobriety and stuff, and Mary was talking about basically the same thing. How when she first stopped doing cocaine, she would
Uh huh.
still drink, and she said after Whitney Houston died, she stopped doing everything, and that's when Wendy was like, "Really?" She was like, "Nah, I don't do any, I don't do any drugs," but she was like, "I still have a drink."
Right.
Yep. So. I allegedly think it was alcohol and pills.
That she was on,
Mhm.
and then the divorce, and then
Yeah.
the mom, and
Yep.
what else? The brother running his mouth. What you think
But
about the brother? We ain't even talked about him.
he's a clout chaser.
You watch his channel.
I tried.
You think he got a relationship with Wendy? Like he makes it seems like he do.
I think it's off and on. I think in the beginning they were cool. Then she started realizing he was trying to get name, make a name for himself off of her name, and she was, calling him out on that. And then on top of that, he called her out on not, going to the service. Like I said, I believe she went to the wake, but I definitely don't think she went to that funeral.
Right.
And so with all that happening. But I do believe they kind of talked and made up somewhat, but I don't believe he's like that. He in close proximity where he could just give us the scoop for real. And I think he'd be luring people in by trying to make it seem like he talks to her all the time.
Right.
And like let me tell you why I said I tried because I started watching his videos when I noticed that sometimes he would just have a video and he just swimming. He ain't doing nothing. I'm like, what is worse? Like, you really that really pissed me off. Like literally, I don't know if you ever seen one of his videos where he'll just put the phone up on a tripod and then just jump in the pool
Uh-huh.
and get her name on the title. and a thumbnail with her picture up there. But when you click on it, you thinking he talking about her. At least she gonna be involved somewhere. He's sitting up there swimming. He ain't even talking. So I'm
That's
like, you
true.
ain't no but a scammer. Not only are you a clout chaser, you a scammer.
Every video is with her title on it, though.
Yes.
Because I remember when he used to say he was in education, he was a teacher. I'm like, well, what happened with him teaching?
Yeah.
That's
Cause I
that.
was I seen the old video not too long ago too, where he came and surprised her on National Teachers Day because he had the day off. I believe he came and gave her some flowers or something, and that's when she had that big old hair, and she was like, "Don't we look like twins?" She was like,
Uh,
"Yeah," and so yeah, he was in education. I remember he was in education. I wonder what happened with that. Because a lot matter of fact, I know he was in education because anytime his videos go viral, like on the blogs and stuff, people be
mhm.
like, "Oh my god, unfortunately, that was my teacher."
He said that.
A couple of people will be like, "Oh my god, that was my teacher." Yes, like if it
Oh
goes on
wow,
when it goes on the Shade Room or like the Jasmine brand, a couple of people will try and be like, "Oh my god, that was my teacher."
wow.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened. Then on his Instagram, I remember on his title, I think he removed it. He said he's a celebrity, a fitness trainer.
Right.
What? Do you saw that?
Yeah, and did you see he's trying? He's supposed to be training this. He was training this white girl.
Oh Lord, you think
And
they was doing the business?
I don't know, but I went on her page. She's weird, dude.
Really? Then you
Yeah,
all over the place, huh?
she's weird.
You be digging in. Like, what's weird about her?
I don't know. Like I said, a lot of stuff I dig, and then it'd be like I move on. Like this was like months ago. Like
Uh-huh.
um, he was calling himself trying to promote her because I actually was on his page being nosy, and he had posted something about her, and he tagged her page. So of course I went on there, and I think she's like some type of fight. I don't know if she like some type of wrestler or something. It's like some type of female wrestler. But she
Uh-huh.
has a YouTube page too, and I went on her YouTube page, and she's just weird. I don't know. It's just like she was just like all over the place. I don't know. It was weird.
Like, what made her weird?
I can't put my finger on it. If I can go, if I actually go back on his page and find her page, and you look at it yourself, you'll see. Because they was talking. Oh, and that was another thing. She called herself trying to defend him because everybody was going in on him. This around the time when everybody was dragging him. She called herself trying to defend him too.
They need a whole reality show with everything going.
I know. That's shoot. If Wendy need to look, if Wendy needs some money, just go ahead and just sign it. Just
She's just saying
get
reality
reality
TV
show.
is below her. Well, she
Yes,
need a whole reality show.
yes. Let's do it.
Them ratings will be off the roof too.
One thing about her is that you can't deny that she's strong. And because one thing, hey, them feet they look bad, but she's courageous enough just to show you what she's dealing with. And she literally was, and she admitted that she really was in a wheelchair, and she felt the strength enough to walk. And that's why I don't like people making fun of her how she
Yeah.
walked because she said she has to look down so she doesn't fall. And I felt
She
so
was
bad.
doing that when she was on the show, when she used to do Hot Topics. Well,
Yep.
not Hot Topics, when she used to do Ask Wendy, and when she would turn around,
Hmm.
she would be like as if she's like possessed. The way she was like turning around, like it was kind of like a steps that she had to take. It was so a challenge for her to do. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like how she would
Yep.
turn. So
Yep.
something was. I still don't even know why she broke her shoulder. Like, did her husband push her down the stairs? Like, I know she said it in the documentary that he didn't do it, but I don't believe it.
Allegedly,
Allegedly.
allegedly. This
Come
goes
on
back to
now.
Wendy
And the
need
whole
take.
Charlemagne introducing the. Come on now. Let's be honest.
So listen, this goes back to Wendy taking some responsibility, and I think that's why she was kind of taking responsibility by trying to say, "Hey, he didn't do it."
So
Now,
that's true.
no, I said this is her trying to take
Oh,
responsibility by saying he didn't do it. Now let's go with the timeline. Now, at this time, she'd already found out that he was cheating. She said in her documentary that that she'd been drinking. She said her blood alcohol level was like off the roof. She said herself she had downed the bottle of wine. He came home, she dumped another bottle of wine, and she went hammer. I had already heard, she's saying it without saying it. I had already heard before she said it that when he got home, she was drunk, went off on, this is alleged, that she went off on him and they got into it and he was just trying to like get her off of him. Like she was like charging at him and that's how she lost her balance. He didn't hit, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And I kind of believe because she kind of said it when she was like, you know, when she just detailed it. She said, I had been, I drank a whole bottle of wine. My alcohol level must have been through the roof. She said he came back. I did another bottle of wine. I went hammer. Remember? She was like, I
Yeah,
went hammer. Watch
I
the
don't.
watch
I
the
gotta watch it
documentary
again.
again.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the whole mistress with Charlemagne, like, come on now, let's be honest about that one. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
like, why he gonna introduce Kevin to a massage? She was a massage therapist at that time.
Hmm.
Um, for what reason? Besides hooking up, possibly. But Wendy said that wasn't the reason.
Well, Charlemagne said, well, according to Charlemagne, he been knew Sharina from
Right.
because they both were from North Carolina. He said he was just introducing Kevin as like this my friend from from down south, and that Kevin was allegedly mad because he was trying to be all up on Sharina, but Sharina was like interested in Charlemagne's other friend.
Right.
And that's how him and Charlemagne end up falling out because basically he was like, you gonna let him kind of talk to my chick, and he was like, "How she your chick and you got a whole wife at home?"
No, yeah, that happens. I yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of believe it a little bit. Like I don't
No,
believe
I mean I see it happening. That happened at my barber shop one time.
so,
They had a woman barber and then they had two guys. Both of them was married, and then one of the guys got mad because he thought the other guy that was married was trying to get with her.
oh wow.
I'm like, but both of y'all. I'm like, okay, yeah, so that happens.
So I'm like, I kind of believe it that it wasn't his intention, but it happened, and I believe that Charlemagne, because if you listen to him and if you read his book, like he said when he first met Kevin, he said he kind of wanted to be like him. He said Kevin was this cool dude. He kind of looked out for him and everything. So I believe that it wasn't his intention for him to hook them up, but I believe that when they did hook up, he wasn't gonna say nothing. He was gonna keep Kevin's secret.
But how about the whole Jessica Reed situation?
I believe it. I believe, look, Charlemagne's book already said that Kevin was into a whole lot of stuff behind the scenes.
Like what?
Well, come on, like the whole, are you talking about Charlemagne and Jessica Reed?
Yeah.
I Charlemagne, yeah.
Didn't he have his wife on his show denying the allegations?
Yeah, see, Charlemagne, I believe Charlemagne he did a lot. You gotta remember he was hanging out with Kevin Hunter, and I believe that he was doing a lot of debauchery back in the day. Put it that way. I
Yeah, but he was
believe,
in his 20s, huh? Yeah, at that
yeah,
time he was in his
I
20s.
believe,
Yeah.
I believe that I don't believe it was like, how do I say this? I believe he did some things that were scrupulous. I don't know if it was just like cut and dry. I don't think it was black and white as everybody think, but he wasn't innocent. Put it that way.
Mm.
Yeah, he wasn't innocent.
Yeah, but the girl was what, 15 though?
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if she lied about her age. I don't know. It was a whole. I don't think he innocent though. Definitely
But
not.
the DNA wasn't like his.
Huh?
But he brought her to the party.
Right.
I mean, that's still wrong, you
It
know.
is. It is. It is. Like
Yeah,
you
that's why I
put.
stopped fucking with him after I heard about that. I'm like, okay, you know.
Yeah.
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 And then he's still with iHeart. It's like iHeart protects him or something. Like nothing happened to him.
Yeah. Yeah. He. I mean, he. I don't know either. I mean, he explained it, but any other person would have been canceled.
Yeah. Didn't he lose his HBO show though? Didn't he was
Yeah.
supposed to have a show with
Yeah.
HBO?
He
He
did.
lost that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. Well, I gotta get ready because I got work in the morning. But it was great talking to you as always, friend.
You read the whole book and everything. I probably read several pages. It's the Black Privilege. The Black Privilege one is the first one, right? His
Yeah,
first book.
that's the part. I didn't read the whole book. I read
Oh,
excerpts.
Okay, I was at Barnes and Nobles one time reading.
Hey, I used to do that. Why you laughing? I used to do that.
I'm
When
not buying the book.
look,
This
why
is
you
before
laughing?
I
I used
found
to do
out.
that when it used to
This is
be when
before I found out about the whole situation. About,
I used to
you
do
know.
that all the time when bookstores were more prevalent, like B. Dalton, Walden's, and Barnes and Noble, and all that. I used to do it all the time. I used to go to the bookstore and just read the books, walk around the bookstore, and be kind of reading. Oh,
Yeah,
all right. Well, it's been great.
it's been great. Have a good night.
Good night. Good night,
Good night.
everybody who was listening.
Good night. All right, let me read the comments. Let's see. I gotta go up. I saw what y'all was writing, but you know, I don't want to be disrespectful. Hold on. The irony of being disrespectful, right? Or not wanting to be disrespectful. What white lady, Laura? She mentioned she knows a white lady that has same health issues with her foot or feet. I don't know. I probably missed that. I don't know. Wendy said that. Um, all right. Wendy got issues. She was incoherent and repeated her words throughout the interview. Remember when Wendy interviewed Whitney Houston when she was incoherent? Maybe we did. Her karma. Let's see. Divorcing her over the edge. You think Wendy will ever recover? I hope so. It doesn't look promising now, though. Let's see. Ricky's show had an audience listening to her on her own show. I'm sure she did. Wendy should not be showing those feet. Creepy. Yeah, it is what it is. All right, y'all. Well, that's pretty much the video for today. I just wanted to come on and talk. I'll see you guys later.